I think the search may be over. Channel is named the perfect wrist for a reason. And when you find that watch that just sits perfectly, it's possibly time. This watch took a lot of finding, but it was always there. I just didn't know about it. Why would you buy one of these over a more modern Omega? Well, where do I start? Hello and welcome to The Perfect Wrist. My name is Paul. This channel is all about my watch collecting journey, a chance for you to share free in somebody else's mistakes, successes, expense. I genuinely believe that of all the watches you can buy and sell, those that you keep are the ones that just fit the wrist perfectly. They hug the wrist, they feel like an extension of your arm. They're not necessarily weighty, they can have the best specs, the best features, but for me, it's the wrist wear. Easy for me to say. I've had quite a flirtation with Omega this year, 2024, and the year is ending very different to where I thought it would at the start of the year. At the beginning of the year, I had my heart set on one of the SEAMASTER Heritage 300s, and particularly the blue, sunny blue dial from last year. That soon changed. I've gone off that. Now this little Omega is 30 years old. This dates back to 1994, this example. Did you even know this watch existed? Before the irresistible lure of fame grabbed Omega by the short and curlies in the mid-90s with James Bond, they were quietly doing their own thing, making very high quality watches, using ETA calibers for their automatics and their ETA quartz movements. This is a quartz. Oh, hold on. Let's just have another look at that in black and white. I had no idea it looked like that. Maybe I should have just got the black version. For me, this represents not only possibly peak Omega, but a double whammy of excellence in that there are plenty available, fairly unloved, at very, very reasonable prices. So I want to show you what you get for those very reasonable prices. For a start, you're getting the perfect mix of old and new. The lyre lugs that you get with modern Omegas, you were getting that in this time period. It is a small diver. There's no denying that. Both of these watches fit me perfect. I've got a 7.4 inch wrist, not to brag, but the watch on the left is over 44 mil wide. The little Omega is only 36. Because of the dial real estate, it doesn't wear small. At least I don't think it does. It looks just right there, doesn't it, for a smaller case size. The bracelet that you still get on the SEAMASTER 300. Admittedly, I have found a good example here. It's near mint. There's the perfect mix of brushed and polished on the bracelet. And I can tell you that that bracelet is one of the most comfortable I've ever worn. The clasp, classic vintage Omega, and it's okay. It's it's not particularly strong. This one has lasted 30 years. Has a very discreet appearance. The water resistance is 120 meters rather than 300. The case itself, 30 years ago, was also the start of the case shapes that we see now. Brushing to the sides, fairly scratch resistant. The polish just to the elements of the lyre lugs there. And I actually like a fixed unmarked bezel on a watch. That's something I really appreciate, because I do have a little bit of OCD, and if a watch has bezel alignment problems, I tend to move it on. See how under the right light conditions it can look almost black, the dial. It does change colour. You can see the classic hippocampus on the back there, on the case back, SEAMASTER. Screw down crown, signed, of course. And guess what? This watch has what Omegas now have as a celebrated feature, and Grand Seiko's the same, a jumping hour for different time zones. So the time, you don't have to reset the time, it still ticks away, and you can just change the hour. Love it. The loom is pants, by the way, almost non-existent. Actually, it does last through a dark night. Just. These came in a range of colours. Black, there's white versions, white dial versions. There's also different handsets, different indices. I particularly like the discreetness of this watch. It doesn't shout. It doesn't try to be anything other than quality, long-living, hard-wearing timepiece. You can see here that the quartz is almost identical to the chronometer, aside from the text above the 6 o'clock. The referencing is fairly easy to follow. The first 4 digits have a 1 or a 0, and the third digit there, depending on quartz or automatic. And the 2 numbers after refer to the dial colour, so 80 is blue, for example, 50 is black. Beautiful, gently domed crystal, very high quality. Dimensions just to die for: 43 lug to lug, 18mm lug width, 36mm case, just around bang on 10mm thick. I'm very happy with the quartz version. It's an old watch. You may notice that the second hand is hitting every marker, and a quite easy way to judge the quality of this watch is to say, well, it's still ticking after 30 years. If you do go for one of these, this is what the packaging looks like. It's a small grey box with a white cushion and a white outer box. The warranty card had that appearance there. And the amazing benefit of spending your hard-earned on one of these blends of vintage and modern Omega is that they are such good value. There's plenty left for other watches. And that wouldn't have been the case had I gone for something fairly new with, I can quite confidently say and suggest, not much better wrist presence, if at all. So thanks for staying till the end if you did. A real find, this watch, and there's plenty available on the used market. These were produced for a long time. I'll leave you with some lovely wrist shots until next time. In the meantime, I have lots of videos on my channel. I have playlists, Seiko binge list, watch collecting as a hobby list, if you want to have a look at other watches that fit the wrist perfectly. You might want to try this one.